To finish up 4.4 notes, we're going to be looking at the factor theorem, which you can see here in your journal, page 94. What I want you to think about is deciding whether a number or expression is a factor of a polynomial. For instance, if I ask you, is 3 a factor of 218? You can do long division. 3 into 21 goes 7 times. 7 times 3 is 21. Subtract, carry down the 8. 3 into 8 goes 2 times. And you'll notice I'm going to have a remainder of 2, which means no, 3 is not a factor of 218. What about the number 219? 7 times 3 is 21. Subtract and carry down. 3 into 9 goes 3 times with a remainder of 0. So when your remainder is 0, that means 3 goes into that number an even amount of times. So let's do that with polynomials. So in example 5a, we want to know if x minus 2 is a factor of this function. What you need to do is divide x minus 2 into the function. Now you can do long division or synthetic division. It is possible to do synthetic, which I find easier, so I'm going to set up my synthetic division. The factor is x minus 2, so I'm going to put a positive 2 on the outside and synthetic divide and use the coefficients from my function, a 1, a 2, and negative 4. Now I'm going to do synthetic division, and if this is a factor, I should end with a 0. So let's try. Carry down your 1, multiply up. 2 times 1 is 2. Add down, multiply up. 2 times 4 is 8. Add down, I get 4. This is not 0, which means it's not a factor. Let's try B. I want to know if x plus 5 is a factor. So I'm going to put negative 5 outside my synthetic division and write my coefficients. 3, 15, negative 1. I'm missing the x term, so I'm going to fill it in with a 0, and then 25. I'm hoping to end with a 0. Carry down my 3, multiply up, add down, multiply up, add down, multiply up, add down, multiply up, and I end with a 0. So that means x plus 5 is a factor. In example 6, we're going to show that x plus 3 is a factor of this. Once it's factored, we can then continue factoring. So let's check this out. I'm going to put a negative 3 outside my synthetic division. My coefficients are 1, 3, a 0 for the x squared, a negative 1, and a negative 3. Carry down the 1, multiply negative 3 times 1, add 0, multiply 0, add 0, multiply, add down, multiply, add down. So I finished with a 0, which means x plus 3 does go into the function. Now my answer, if I start with an x to the 4th, that means my answer will start as an x cubed. I have 0 x squares, 0 x's, and then a minus 1. So looking at what I have left can then be factored again. I have a difference of cubes. So I'm going to carry down my x plus 3, which they already told me that was a factor, and then I'm going to factor my difference of cubes into a binomial and a trinomial. The cube root of x cubed is x, and 1 is 1 cubed. To know what goes into the trinomial, I'm going to square the x, multiply the 1 and the x together, and then square the 1. The signs follow SOAP. Same, opposite, always positive. And this would be my completely factored answer. Now I would like you to try and complete Monitoring Progress 10-11. In 10, just decide whether x minus 4 is a factor. Do your synthetic division, and will your remainder be 0? In number 11, x minus 6 is a factor, so do your synthetic division, and then write your answer. The answer that you write down from your synthetic division can be factored again. Try it now.